What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is A2D Wednesday nights. Sixers talk. Giddy up.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, brought to you by our doc. Make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal. Specialized Physical Therapy. Locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. A lot in store for you tonight. Padres, Phillies, doubleheader. We'll go over that. They split it. So, all right, they fought in game one. Right, scratch and clawed themselves back into it, had an opportunity. So we'll dive into that, but was able to get game two. So we'll talk about that. Sixers draft grades. I haven't got a chance to talk about it. You guys have, obviously. So we're going to really get into that tonight because it'll be fun. And Sixers free agency. Ties right into our poll question. The Sixers will miss Yabusele this upcoming season after losing him to the New York Knicks. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe. Most importantly, follow. And then most importantly, comment in. We see Elliot. He was upset we were late. We were making moves here. Elliot, Greg had computer issues. I was tired of spiders on my neck. So, and Buckets is running around trying to shoot a bucket with his iPhone. So, it has no stand. So a lot of issues. I think Noah's been here since 9:59. So, but okay, so he's been here longer than you, Elliot. You know what I mean? But to the poll, I disagree. I know there's going to be a lot of agrees, and I like Yabu. I do. And I think he brings a lot of good things to the Sixers when he was here. But he's also a guy I feel like at the end of the year wasn't as good as he was early on in the year. Is that who he was playing with? I don't know. Right? And I love him because I love hustle guys. I love energy guys. I think he's a good basketball player. But I don't think it's this like big loss that, we can't overcome. Okay? We'll say it again. Yabu ain't getting us to an Eastern Conference final. You know what's getting us to an Eastern Conference final? A healthy Joel Embiid, which probably won't happen, and a healthy Paul George. All right, that's your ticket to get to the promised land. So Yabu listen, do you like losing an effort guy, a rebounder, guy who can hit some threes? No, nobody likes losing it. You don't like losing it to the New York Knicks. But, this isn't we're going to miss them. You know what I mean? This isn't we're going to miss them. This is, okay, maybe we can get Grimes back. Maybe we can do something else. Obviously brought why am I drawing a blank right now?
Well, Drummond,
Wofford.
No, forget him. But what's his face? Obviously, he's back too.
Drummond.
Oubre.
Yeah.
So I'll take Oubre over Yabu. I mean, I think we would all agree there. I mean, Kelly brings us way more than Yabu does.
Different position, though.
No, but we need guys who can play a small forward. Essentially,
sure.
We need length at a perimeter, right? I think Kelly. When you look back at that Boston game, which is the only game we can look at from an entire season, which is amazing. Kelly was balling. I mean, defensively, Kelly was long. He's long, athletic, and he was getting in people's shorts. And I like to see that out of him, right? So I think it's in there. Makes sense? It's in there. I think he's a good player. And in this league, you need scoring, right? You need wing scoring. And he brings us that. So, listen, I'm not saying he's a dime a dozen, but he's a dime a dozen. I mean, I can find guys that open threes and rebound, right? Because that's really what he brings. He doesn't have this big offensive game. So, when you look at that side of it, and he's 31, right? I mean, it's not a 24-year-old or whatever he is. Is he 30? I feel like he's 30. So is it a big loss, or are we going to miss him? I should say, not a big loss. I disagree. I don't think we miss him. So I don't really have a bigger rant on it than that. Essentially, I guess
I'll agree to the poll only because you could have got something for him. That's what made no sense to me. If you were tanking in a year that you were tanking anyway, you should have just traded him at the deadline because you could have at least got something for him. If you knew he was walking, why not get something in return? Also, I think we're very small, and the team that he went to in New York is very lengthy. They got Bridges, Anunoby, Towns, now Yabu. I'm forgetting someone. Josh Hart, I mean, he plays bigger than his size, but they're very long, and we're very small. We're guard heavy now. We got McCain, Edgecombe, Maxey. I mean, Oubre, he's a shooting forward. He's small. Or small forward. He's small. Like, we're just very undersized. Again, Embiid needs to be healthy. That is the ticket. He's obviously your length. But I just think we're very small, and that's why we'll miss him. Just because defensively, like who would guard Siakam in a playoff series? Now, Halliburton's out, but I'm just saying a guy like that, who's sticking him? I don't like Paul George on guys like that. That's just my personal preference. Like it goes around the league. Whatever power forward you can name, who's guarding him? I don't like Paul George at the 4 at all. So I think that's.
Can I stop you though?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about Yabu as like this perimeter defender.
No, not perimeter. I'm talking length. I'm talking just like
length. I mean,
you get in the post. You get in the post. Who's backing him down? Nobody.
Who's backing him down? What are you acting like he's some great defender? Can we
he's a brick wall.
He's a brick wall. Stop it. Can we stop it? Now we're gonna start overrating guys and overvaluing guys, and especially a guy I like a little bit. Now we're taking it too far, right? Like now he's this defender, and he's gonna block all these shots. And who's coming in the paint? Who's going to come in the paint when Yabu's there? Can we stop? Like, who's he guarding? Like, he can't jump over a goddamn index card. And now we're talking about this, what I feel like you just said is an elite defender. That's how I feel like you just talked about Yabusele. That's an elite defender.
Basketball, especially in the playoffs, it's all about matchups. So
okay, I guarantee the odds. Hold on, let's go to DraftKings and see if the odds changed from last night to today because they got Yabusele. Can we knock it off? Like they didn't, the NBA Finals odds, right? Did New York jump up 100 points in the, in to win the NBA Finals because they signed Yabu today?
No, but they also got Jordan Clarkson and Mike Brown.
That's not the question, right?
I think they got better. Do you think they got better or worse? They got better. They had no depth. They're now buying into depth. They had no depth.
Hold on, this isn't a conversation about the New York Knicks, though. This is a conversation where the Sixers are going to miss them. Not how we match up.
We miss a guy we gave a rival to make them better. I say yes that we will miss that guy that we gave to our rival to make them better. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but I'm saying the position is a need. He is absolutely a role player. You're correct. But the position that we gave up, it is a need for this team. Who's our power forward? That's what I'm asking you. Who is it? Does it matter? I mean, do you not care? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying he's Jesus. I'm saying you let the guy walk for nothing. You let him walk for nothing. You could have traded him at the deadline.
They don't even have set positions in the NBA these days, anyway.
Yeah, but you still need size, though.
Okay, but can we stay on? Can we stay on course? Because we got off course. Like we jumped off the Disney ship. We got steered away. You understand? You get where I'm going? We got steered away from the conversation. The conversation
for that, huh?
No, because everybody lived, so it's not too soon.
Oh, yeah.
It's never too soon. But what is too soon is, again, we got to stay on course when we're talking about the Sixers here. We're not talking about anything more than the Sixers when we're talking about, do we miss him? That's it.
We are slim at the position, so yes, we will miss him. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we could be slim across the whole roster if guys aren't healthy. But my point is, if guys are healthy, I don't think it's a big miss. I think you can find length. Like, you know what I mean? You can find length in this league. So it's not like you're giving up a 20-point a game guy. Does it help New York? Sure. I can't disagree with you there. And a team that had no bench, that's a great point. You nailed that part of it. I just don't want to get carried away. Like we lost B-Ball Paul, and there's people out there that are carried away about it. On a guy who averaged 4 points and 3 rebounds. Like, let's not get carried away because we like a guy because he hustles and he plays hard. Right? Yeah, you could
and
always
he posterized LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. You could always
That's
say
the only reason I like him.
You could always say you miss him, right? Because of
he put
the
a
other
nutsack in
factors.
LeBron's face.
But who would you rather have? That's the conversation. You rather have Kelly Oubre, or would you rather have Yabu? Because to me,
it's apples to oranges. That's not the same. That's not the same comparison.
It's not the same
they don't have money. It's not about the position. It's about the money spent.
Well, Andre Drummond screwed them on the money because he opted into
$5 million. Screwed themselves.
He opted into $5 million, and when he did that, they spent all day trying to trade him, and they couldn't. So then the next day, they had to let Yabu walk. And if I believe I'm correct, to stay at the MLE, We could have offered Yabu 5.7 per year, and the Knicks gave him 6, and that's all it took to outbid us. Was $300,000 a year. So $600K is what outbidded us. It's crazy. And again, I don't think he's this big superstar, but at a position that we need and we are slim at, now we're looking at Trendon Watford. Would I rather have him or Yabu? I'm taking Yabu all day long, especially at $6 million a year. It's nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to disagree with you because I don't know enough about him. I know he's lengthy, to your point, and can sort of play that power forward at times, right? But at the other end, it's not a league. It's not a league like Noah said with set positions, and you have enough. You have enough size. Okay, that's all. I agree with a lot you said. I like arguing with you, but at the end of the day, again, we have enough size if everybody's healthy, right? Paul George is essentially like close to the same size as Yabu lengthwise, right? So I'm not telling him that's what I want my power forward to be, but with Joel and Drummond, I think you're getting your rebounds, right? You should at least. And I'm not a big Drummond guy, but he stuffs the rebound stat sheet when he wants to play, and he's not a starter, right? When he comes off the bench and gives you 12, 15 minutes, he's probably getting you 7 boards, right? And we know what Joel does when he's healthy and can rebound. So again, Yabu don't matter if they're healthy or not healthy. That's the kicker. That's the point. It's like he's a good little player. I like him. He can bring you bench depth, but it's not a deciding factor for me to miss somebody. Again, I don't want to keep circling back and on the same thing, but that's where I'm trying to get the point across. Where my head is, not saying a lot you said's wrong.
What sucks too is he was a part of such a dog shit year and a dog shit season that we had. So I wonder if this conversation is different had he played big playoff minutes and came through for us. Like we never got to see it. He was just a part of a wash tanking season. So I feel like that also has something to do with it, where it's like, he's gone. Who cares? Came and went.
And I think he didn't play well down the stretch either. Whatever. Not that a lot of people did, but
they were treating him like a star because he was the last NBA player left on the floor, and he's not a star. That's never been his role. So, but yeah, someone else can go. I don't want to take up.
Same. I don't want to keep going back and forth with you. I feel bad. We're moving on. I come back.
I mean, you guys hit the nail on the head. I mean, you wish the guy well, but no, you're not going to miss him. I mean, if we end up missing Yabusele, then we did a lot wrong this offseason. And
we're doing a lot wrong.
And then we doubled down by not having Embiid healthy and not, Paul George, who the hell knows if he's going to be here or not. It's almost irrelevant because he's not going to stay on the floor either. I mean, do I love it that we drafted a role player with the number 3 overall pick in Edgecombe? No, but I'll tell you what, I won't mind having someone who doesn't mind, diving on the floor for a loose ball, who doesn't mind showing a little bit of hustle, showing a little bit of grit, because quite frankly, I didn't see a lot of that from the rest of this roster last season. Right? Let's be honest. We need guys that want to play basketball more so than be a celebrity.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
So
I think part of that too.
Embiid was out. Shot at Yabusele?
No, it's the fact
because I thought we were talking about Yabu.
It's the fact that this basketball team has led by stars who looked disinterested last year. You got one guy who was more interested in doing a fucking podcast, all right? And
That's not staging.
And then you had another guy in Embiid who, wasn't interested in keeping his body in shape and being ready for an NBA season, right?
Yeah. And Yabu was also playing small ball 5, which he's not a 5, but he had to because nobody else was there. And I think that's also why he struggled, because he's just simply not a 5. He's a stretch 4.
Yeah. I mean, we appreciate Yabu's efforts, but if we end up missing him long term, that's a problem.
Let's go, KZ. Let's go, baby. I'm in.
Yeah, no, you're spot on.
Yeah, I had to read that.
You know,
Dude, it's hilarious, but it's like kind of what they need. Except it goes against everything Noah just said because he doesn't give a shit.
He definitely doesn't give a shit. Yeah, I'm gonna agree to the poll. And again, Tom, Tom, like you said, he's not a superstar. He is a role player. All you guys that disagreed with it, 100%. I'm gonna back buckets though, and just from a depth standpoint, right? We don't have that guy yet. Who knows what Wofford is, right? Whatever. But I disagree, or I agree, because I think they did it to themselves, right? All these moves that they've and options that these guys have picked up, they allowed this to happen. They allowed Yabusele to walk to a division rival. So I do think they'll miss him. But as you mentioned, if everybody stays healthy, if that Cinderella season happens where everybody stays healthy, you're right. It's not going to matter at the end of the day. But here on July 2nd, yes, I think they're going to miss him in the upcoming season.
hey, and if I was 25 again, I could hit the ball 280 down the middle.
Chris Glover, it's not Eagle season. It's not even close to Eagle season. Well, it's close,
Yeah.
but it's not Eagle season. What are we?
I mean, 30 days away.
Dial talking Eagles every year, every day of the week. Get the
Are we
hell out of
30?
here.
Say the second or the first? Second?
Second.
Today's
Yeah,
the
we're 29 days away from Hall of Fame game.
Woo.
Woo!
28 maybe.
Who's playing in the Hall of Fame game? Not that it matters.
I think it was Chargers or something.
Like a glorified two-hand touch in the preseason.
So, Greg, you said you miss Yabu?
Yes, I would agree. I agree, Miss Yabu.
Especially at the price. Like
Yeah.
$6 million. You got him asking for $6 a year, and Quentin Grimes wants 22, 25. Get the hell
Yeah.
out of here.
You're going to pay him, which fine, you kind of have to, right? But again, you hit it on the head. Like if you were going to let him walk, or if you knew you were going to let him walk, because you knew Drummond was going to pick up the option, Gordon picking up the option, Oubre picking up the option, then yeah, why didn't you trade him?
Yeah,
Why
get
didn't you
something
trade him
for
and
it.
get something for him, or trade him at the draft? Right?
But like
Trade him at
a
the
guy like
draft.
Grimes, I
I
think
guess you
Grimes
could
is
trade him
great.
at the draft, but
Grimes is 25. Like he had a great year, but like, did he have a great year because he was on a dog shit team? Like probably he was on a bad team putting up numbers. And I think he's a good player. But
Dallas
like,
got rid of him because they didn't like him. They didn't think he was worth anything.
we're gonna give him $25 million a year. Like
Well,
to me,
it's
that's
the NBA.
that's a guy you could let
Look
walk.
at the contracts. Look at the contracts being thrown out there. The NBA is throwing around money like their ratings and their viewerships aren't tanking.
Yeah, they might give me $1 million per season just to sit on the end of the fucking bench.
Shea's getting 71.5. Jesus,
Yeah, that's $800K a game.
that's insane.
Wait, like you got heart surgeons that make that a year.
Yeah.
It's great. It makes that a game. But yeah, I don't know. I just think for the money and for what he was, it was just perfect. And now, if they do give Grimes $25 million, which is a totally different conversation, to me, that's a guy you could have let walk. Like, could he be good? Yeah, but you just drafted Edgecombe. You have McCain. You have Maxey. You don't really need him. It's a league full of guards. I get it. He could be a stud. I could be completely wrong. But $25 million a year, that's a steep. That's a big asking price.
You can't let him walk at this point.
Well, at this point,
if you want to sign him to trade him later, then that's fine. But you can't let him walk.
Yeah, at this point, you're not. But
yeah,
I'm just saying.
It's only Josh Harris's money. Fuck him.
Well, I mean,
but
listen,
I agree. 25 is insane.
Listen, everybody's overpaid in the NBA, so
For sure.
at that, I don't really get too caught up in it because they all are. But I mean, listen, did they give it to him?
Not yet, but it's like 99% going to happen now.
Yeah, they had to pick one. They had to pick one. They had to pick Grimes or Yabu, basically. They couldn't, and I'm not saying they had to pick one, right? But you couldn't do both with the moves that they did this offseason so far.
And that's why you're seeing Gordon and Drummond and all these stiffs come, because you don't have any money left. You're about to give 25 to Grimes. It's like 51 to George. What's Embiid making? 50 something. And Maxi's what, 40?
He's
You
not
got
gonna
no
get, he's not gonna get 25 a year. He's probably gonna get like 15 to 17. I bet you. So
That'd be nice.
because I don't think like somebody said saying he's not. It's not the market for him. And he also said that you said Grimes is better than Maxey during the season too, which I think he did say. So, but now you don't want him.
I don't know. I think that what the big kicker is too, and what kills.
I
is
want
that-
winners.
Yeah, he went to the Knicks. Like that's what sucks. Like you went to a rival who you just made him better. You made the Knicks better. Whether this made the Sixers better or worse, so be it. But you made the Knicks better. So,
Well, right. What do you think about it, right? While we're on it.
Am I allowed to talk? I was worried.
No.
No, I'm not allowed to talk. Okay, cool. Realistically, I'm going to disagree. I don't really think like the Yabu.
Now you're allowed to talk.
Difference. Now I'm allowed to talk. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
because you disagreed. Yeah, if you agreed, you probably would have got shut down.
You're just kick me off the show, man. Yeah. Again, like I love Yabu, man. I think that the same reasons that we're talking about, like he was, it was a dog shit team last year. I think that's the reason why his numbers were inflated. Again, I love the dude, right? He did really well on a bad team, right? And he got I think he got just like 11-5 or something, right? He did pretty well. He was diving for loose balls. He was giving you that grit and stuff. But like, and obviously you got a cheap deal, right? $6 million. Would have loved to keep him, but realistically, again, we talk about this all the time. If this team is healthy, he's getting 10 minutes a night. He's not playing a whole lot. He might get 20 on a Tuesday night game against the Jazz, right? Like we're not really going to rely on Guerschon Yabusele to go out and win us ball games, right? Everything just relies on, Embiid, Maxey, Paul George, like these guys. And, like last season when they were all hurt at some point, there's a reason we were in the lottery. There's a reason we've ended up picking number 3, right? Again, I would have loved to be able to keep Yabu for depth purposes, but I'm not going to lose sleep over losing the guy. That's easy. Again, I really liked him last year. It would have been really nice to keep him. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go to San Antonio, honestly, because I thought that was where he was going to end up. But, kind of sucks he goes to the Knicks, but I don't really think that Guerschon's going to swing one way or another if we, make the playoffs or win a playoff series or something like that. It's going to rely on those guys that are getting max money. So,
yeah, it's 3 kickers to this. It's 1, he went to the Knicks of all places. It's 2, you got nothing for him because you could have just traded him at the deadline. And
also here, stop you right
it's
there.
3 that it's a position of need.
So at the deadline, the Sixers won like 4 straight games. They won a few games going into the deadline, which is why they didn't sell. If they would have lost a couple of those games, because they still had like play-in aspirations, if they could try to sneak their way in, right? Maybe they don't trade him, or maybe they do trade him at the deadline if they lose a couple of those games. But they won a couple of the games going into the deadline, and then they won 3 games the rest of the year. So they fucked themselves at the going into the deadline by winning a couple games and thinking like, oh wait, we're kind of still in this. So
yeah, but it kind of just proves the point though. If you're hanging on to him because you think he's going to be a piece to win, and that's why you didn't trade him, and then you let him walk because you're not going to miss him that much. It's just that it's contradictory.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Picture a Friday night at the Garden in November or December, whatever. You think there's going to be a lot of Yabu jerseys in the crowd?
Yeah, but it's not about
that. You think
that.
they're going to have a bobblehead night for Yabusele anytime soon?
But how many Case and Wallace jerseys are walking around? How many Isaiah Hartenstein jerseys are walking around in OKC? You still need bench guys, and for $6 million a year, it's like, come on, what are we doing? We're paying that to Drummond.
I hear you, but
I'm with you.
Long term, we'll be okay.
No, I'm with you. It's just that those are the 3 kickers. That's why people are in their feelings about it. He went to the Knicks, who's a rival. You got nothing for him. You let him walk for nothing. And the fact that it's a position of need. We're so slim at power forward, you don't have one. Like, George is not a true power forward, and we're going to have to watch him all year. Ricky Council will be called up if he's not going already. I don't know. You're gonna watch random people play the floor.
George at all. He won't even hit the floor. Don't worry about it. I mean, when I tell you this team is a bleeping mess,
Yeah, we're gonna suck regardless.
this team is a bleeping mess, and they have no way of getting out of it for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, regardless, I guess in the long run it means nothing. They're gonna stink anyway.
Yeah. But I think Edgecombe being here is a good start.
Yeah, he grew on me.
Is it?
Pause. But
Pause.
I mean, is he going to be LeBron James? No, probably not. But I think he's going to be pretty damn good. I think he's going to be willing to learn to shoot the basketball, most importantly, and willing to accept coaching. And that's a hell of a lot more than I could say from a number 1 draft pick I remember from not too long ago, and Mr. Ben Simmons, who is more interested in getting it in at the Jenner household.
dude, totally off topic. I think this is the Knicks' biggest chance. Like like the window is right here. Like it's right in front of their face. Like the East is wide open, and we're still going to suck. Imagine that. The Sixers are still going to suck, and the East is wide open.
Well, I mean, look at the positive. You can go down to the well for 10 cents on a Wednesday night. I mean,
yeah.
Well, we got an opportunity. Hopefully, we can stay healthy. But it is wide open buckets, right? Like you said last week. No Tatum, no what's his face, Halliburton,
no Lillard.
Yep, Lillard's gone. East is pretty wide open.
Giannis will probably be on the move.
Which is funny because then Milwaukee's left overpaid for Miles Turner.
Yep.
All right, Joel, get on that fucking treadmill. Let's go. Get in shape.
I know. It is a shame. It's wide open and we're still gonna suck.
Pumper would love the broom pick. Pumper would love the broom pick.
Might not suck.
Yeah, I hope we don't.
I hope we don't.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about like Embiid or Paul George. Like it's the growth of Tyrese Maxey. I've been saying this for since we started talking about what's the future look like, okay, and how they could be in and out at the same time, and sort of build it around what Maxey is, and then start to draft pieces that fit him and what he can do. Right. And VJ is obviously the best athlete in this draft, and it's probably not close. All right. He's that athletic. So, do you believe in Rico Hines and this player development staff, which they've done a great job with players in the past of getting him better, right? Creating more of an offensive game. But in a league that we talk about, do you bring a skill set that automatically translates? Yes. Right. Speed and the ability to play above the rim translate right away. Okay. Now, again, shooting and taking guys off the dribble, etc. That's why I was a Trey Johnson guy, because again, translates right away. Are you drafting somebody, right? Energy translates right away. What's your head coach preach all the time? It's a game full of energy. You hear Nick Nurse say that every presser. So I think when you talk about VJ, I think like you said, it's grown on me. I also said you don't draft a guy just because he's an energy guy, but I think he brings more than that. And I think, again, being 19 years old, there's room to grow. I think he will, but I also think that this team, we just watch Halliburton do it, right? If Tyrese Maxey continues to take steps in the right direction and grow as a player, like we expect, I'm not saying we're going to NBA Finals, but we can be good in an East that's beat up for a year. Right. And that's not even talking about those other two guys. Right. That's just talking about our guard play with Maxey, McCann, and obviously VJ. Right. Could we still be competitive in a bad Eastern Conference? Sure. Maybe. Right. And then if those guys are healthy, then who knows? Right. But I'm not gonna hold out hope that's gonna happen. But I can hold out hope that, over the summer VJ gets better at things. And he's around another player who works his ass off in Tyrese Maxey. And we know how it works. If your best players are workers and he becomes one of the leaders in this locker room, well, guess what? Younger guys follow what they do. Right? And especially a guy that seems like he has a work ethic like VJ. Right? Now you get the culture part. I'm not saying it's a quick fix and we're going to be hoisting a trophy soon. I'm just saying you can see that you can hopefully see some direction in a different type of culture here than what the process was, which was built off of losing.
Yeah, I could see a scenario, Tom, where in the middle of next winter, we're saying this is a watchable basketball team that has a shot to make the postseason.
Because you have hope in the future. That's what makes it watchable. Right? Like it's not watchable if you don't have 3 young players,
right,
that sort of make you say, okay, what are these guys? Right? That's why it's watchable. That's why it's watchable the first game they play this year. If you don't think that's watchable, then are you really a Sixers fan? Because we just spent over a decade and a half, per se, talking about the future every year.
Yeah.
And now we might not want to watch when the future is going to be on the court. Am I wrong? Because this is actually, forget Embiid and Paul George for a minute. Right? Look at the direction of the youth and say, well, that's watchable. I want to see these guys get better.
Well,
I want to see these guys grow together.
More importantly, I think the Sixers are getting ready to say, forget about them too. And, starting to get younger and turn the page here. It's going to take a while to turn the page, but at least it's beginning.
Yeah, and I think when you go draft a guy like you drafted in the second round too, and I know Greg hates him, and that's fine, and guys can dislike him. Doesn't really matter. But he's a defender, he's a rebounder, even though he's not super athletic. But listen, he's a 4-year guy, right? And sometimes those guys can translate just to be good bench players for you, right? And stick around the league for 7-8 years because he can do the little things, right? So you drafted super athletic in the first round. In the second round, you know what you should do is you go find a 4-year college player, right? Go find a guy a little bit more mature, maybe. I don't know. I don't disagree. I'm not saying I love him either, but I'm just just talking.
Look, I understand that this team is. Yeah, I understand that this team isn't where we want them to be. Right? They're not. Okay. Now, that being said, they're the 4th best odds to win the Eastern Conference. Right? Like, you got Cleveland, you got the Knicks, you got Orlando, and then you got the Sixers and Celtics are tied.
What?
Right?
Orlando, baby?
Are you serious?
That's crazy.
I'm looking at DraftKings odds right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orlando is a trendy pick.
Crackhead came up with those odds.
They're the new Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, they got banned, but that's
I think we're 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, I believe you, but
Bane and Ben Carroll.
They're like the 12th
and the Wagners,
best to win the
Wagners,
the Wagner brothers,
the Wagners.
You know what's funny? This is a random thought, but Tom said how what we just saw Halliburton do, and Halliburton was awesome. And if Maxey does that, then he'll be beloved. But if Maxey ever had 0-point playoff game, or he had 4 points but it's 0 field goals and 14 points a game, we would crush him. He averaged 26 and 6 last year as a 24-year-old. He was the 21st pick in the draft. And you would have thought he fucking was airballing every shot he took. People were talking about how hard his shooting nights were. He's not a playmaker. He's not a leader. He's not this or that. He averaged 26 and 6 as a 24-year-old last year. And that was a down year. We all agree it was a down year. He wasn't great. And he had 26 and 6 on a down year playing with nobody. Yeah. Can you imagine if he did what Halliburton did and it was just 14, 8, and 6? He would get chewed up in this town, in this city. He'd get chewed up. He can't be Halliburton. He has to be the 30 points. But
I don't know. I don't know if I'm more positive than you guys are right now. I don't think that they're any worse than the 5 seed. As long as they're playing relatively decent basketball and Embiid doesn't miss 70 games, right? If Embiid plays 50 games next season, right? If Paul George plays 60 games, if Maxey plays the majority of games, this team is going to be a top half seed.
Yep.
They're going to be. And they're going to be in the conversation of, they can make a run in the playoffs, right? Because, again, the East is wide the fuck open, okay?
It is.
And, again, we're always coming back to this. If they're healthy, if Joel Embiid is playing like he did 2-3 years ago when he was MVP of the league, right? And you have a relatively healthy Paul George who's able to play, solid basketball. And then the next year of Tyrese Maxey, this team will make noise. It's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's no secret. If Joel Embiid is healthy, your team is always going to be top 5 in the East. Always. I've seen him do it with Seth Curry and Al Horford and Josh Richardson. Yeah, he's good until he leaves here and he can't find minutes anywhere. I've seen him do it with PJ Tucker, who can't sniff minutes anywhere. Seth Curry, who doesn't sniff minutes anywhere. Josh Richardson doesn't sniff minutes anywhere. I mean, we had legitimate stiffs playing around this guy. And as long as he's healthy, we're good. We're a top 5 seed, but he's never healthy. That's the problem. But yeah, if he's healthy, you always have a shot. He's one of the best players. He's a point per minute guy. So, that's what you're banking on.
Pump, it's July 2nd. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit optimistic. So, yes, July 2nd, we're going to think that this team, if healthy, Don, take a shot. If healthy, here's another one. They're going to be on the top end of the East.
You mean the team that last year going into the season was the 3rd best odds to win the title? Yeah, that team.
Yeah.
Well, how about as simple as this? I said it a million times. You just need one of those two guys to be healthy with Maxey. That's it. And especially in a down year for the East. You just need one of the two. Right? Either George or Embiid. One of the two's healthy. They're good. They're good. They'll compete. I prefer it to be Embiid because he's obviously better and the size. But in reality, you just need one of those two guys to stay healthy for a year. If you get both of them, you could be the 1 seed. But again, I'm not gonna bet my life on that, or bet a mortgage payment on that, or anything like that.
Smart man, Tommy. Smart man.
But I will bet that I will bet that these 3 players grow together.
Christ.
I would put a mortgage payment on that. That Maxey McCain and VJ grow together, and we watch it this year, and we watch them on the floor at times together. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to. Anything else is house money to me. So is that being optimistic? No. Right? Or this super positive guy? No, this is saying I'm looking forward to watching them 3 players grow. And if Maxey continues to take strides forward, this could be a 4 or 5 seed.
And if Embiid's healthy, you're legit contenders.
Motor City.
Yep.
If Embiid's healthy, you're legit contenders. Like,
even if Paul's healthy, even if George is really healthy, his 2nd year here, like, you're a contender. Like, a guy can play basketball when he's healthy. He's not a bad player. Like, we feel like he's bad because we got the typical Paul George. But in reality, if we can get a little piece of what Paul George is, which is a really good distributor of basketball, can break guys down one-on-one, can score it, right? Then I think we'll be extremely happy with him. But can he stay on the court? This isn't a talent question. Holy shit. I think people think it becomes a talent question with Paul George. It's not talent. It's, are you going to play enough games to help us win? And you don't got to like him at all. But that's the facts. It ain't a talent problem. Holy shit. And that guy's overcame a lot in his career too.
Yeah.
So I think people like disrespect him a lot. And I get it. I totally get it. Because it's about health, right? But people don't talk about Kawhi like that. That dude ain't never healthy either. And every year it's okay, he's got 1. Oh, well, you want to count. You want to count that one and be my guest. I get you, but was that with Timmy?
Yep.
It was early.
They don't count.
I think he was a rookie right here. I think he was
a rookie. Timmy ring, but he did play well though. He did. And in defense, he did play well, so that's on me. But I get the rings, and that's a separator and the measuring stick. Totally agree. But Paul George also took a not a good team to the finals as well. Right? Not a good team in Indiana. It was him. It was either finals or Eastern Conference Finals. So they were okay. We act like he didn't carry that.
When?
I don't think he ever
Indiana,
went
you said?
finals in Indiana.
He went to the Eastern Conference Finals, did he not?
In Indiana, I think he did.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he lost to Braun probably. Mm-hmm. But but I was 12, dude. I just learned how to ride a plane.
Hey, okay, you brought up too. Kawhi, you were 11.
Yeah, I was 11, and then he did it again when I was 19. Won a ring. But yeah, I know I'm with you. But you're right. People don't talk about Kawhi like that because I think he's just proven it. So once you prove it, what can they say?
Okay, he's reached the conference finals 3 times in his career.
So he's 0 for 3. So he's 0 for 3 in the conference finals.
Yeah, not crowning that. Just you know, we asked because we said,
but we can't get out of the second round. So hey,
Ryan
bring some of that magic here.
Ryan thought he never went, so he went 3 times.
Yeah, he went. No, he went. He definitely went.
No, I was thinking Indiana. I know he's been out since then, but
he's had to go with Indiana.
Yeah, that team was electric. Roy Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert.
Who else was on that team? David West. Who was the
David West?
Yeah, the bald guy.
Twice.
All right, it was my bad. It was a decade ago.
Twice.
It was 2014. My bad.
Was
Rick 2015
still on that team?
Make sure you're using Google AI better because 2013 and 2014.
Danny Granger. Oh, good pull,
Donnie.
Donnie.
He was a Sixer.
Pull, Donnie.
Wasn't he a Sixer? And he just never showed up?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds like one of those guys.
Him and Karolinko just no-showed us. And Bynum, I guess. But Bynum
I
showed
remember
up.
AK-47.
Bynum. I wonder what that POS is doing.
That was back when I was watching hockey a lot more than basketball.
Jay, put some sleeves on, babe. You know what I'm saying? Put some sleeves on. Get some more tribal art, honey. This ain't 2001. You know what I mean? No, I ain't testy at all. It's 11 at night, and we're just getting after each other. But you look like you're testy because you put 5 needles in your ass today, right? You know what I mean? So slow down, big dog.
Hey, Jay, let me tell you something. This ain't 2001, but Paul George took Indiana to the conference finals in 2012, 2013,
and 14.
And 14. Right. Oh, sorry, 13 and 14.
At that time, Jay was probably like 120 pounds pre-needle. You know what I mean? He was probably the guy like, look at Jay. He can't put weight on ever. You know, that was Jay in 2013, 2014. And now look at him. Probably thinks he can bench press a car. He's probably always jazzed up. Right? He probably just walks around chest out. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we got it. He's his idol.
Jorge's back again.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Jorge Alfaro?
Jorge from the Philippines. What is this guy hacking us? What the hell's going on here?
A lot.
He gives his age.
Here we go. Mr. Ace Bailey, Brian Pumper.
Hey, right? yeah, Pump. Go start tuning into jazz podcast then, dude. Get out of here.
Pump, let me tell you something. That dude is a loser. And if he ends up being a stud, good for him. But the perception is reality. And the other thing that's reality is if you think 2 goddamn Rutgers guys that won 15 fucking games are both going to be good, you're the biggest moron ever to watch a sporting event. Ever to watch a sporting event. I'll be clear with you here, okay? Because the one can flat out play. And the one has a pedigree behind him. And mom looks good too. But a pedigree behind him.
Oh, mom was.
All right. The ace does not have. So if you're going to put the gun to my head, Dylan Harper is the ball player out of the 2. And if Ace was as good as Ace thinks he is, okay, they would have went to the tournament. I don't give a shit what's around them. I'm tired of hearing it because if those 2 guys are really both top 5 picks in an NBA draft, all right, then they're doing something more than. That's it. Trey Johnson went to the tournament with less. So he didn't have the guy next to him like that. That was a top 5 pick. You understand where I'm going with this? So just because of the size, everybody falls in love with the wingspan. You can go because you ain't probably got a wingspan. You understand? The guys who fall in love with wingspans have no wingspan between their legs. They got, you know what I mean? There ain't no wingspan there. Or you fall in love with like, oh, you know, you can. I just get tired of it. He's KD. Would you knock it off? KD at Texas was a pimp, and you knew it. You flat out knew it, what you were getting on a nightly basis. Please stop the ridiculous goddamn comparisons on certain guys that can't hold Hall of Famers jockstraps. I'm tired of it. Everybody's got a goddamn comp. Everybody. Because he looks similar or whatever. No part of his game and that I've watched reminds me of Kevin Durant. You know what? And if that reminds you of KD, stop watching basketball. Please do all us a favor. Because that's who you think he is. I guarantee you think that's KD 2.0. Then go back and watch KD at Texas. Circle back to me. Circle back if they look similar. Actually, you know what? Find an app, put them both together, and then punch yourself in the dick. Please. I had enough of the Ace Bailey shit. All right, I have enough of losers. I have enough of guys that think they're better than what they are, and enough of guys big time in professional sports teams. I'm tired of it. I am tired of it. You did nothing at the college level to dictate this kind of shit. Zero. At least we talk about Eli Manning and guys like that in other sports. They did something. Holy shit.
The only thing that Ace Bailey did was lose 17 games last year.
And the NIL, you're going to see this. This is going to be a common theme now with how he's acting because these kids have money now. So he doesn't really care about the bonus, whether he goes 2 or whether he goes 12. It doesn't matter to him. They have money. Before, you're just starving. You want the money. You want the bonus. You want the best possible situation. Now it's, I got the money. I'm cool. You want to take me 3rd? Cool. You want to take me 17th? Okay. You're going to see a lot of it.
I still would have drafted him.
Who?
No shot.
Ace.
Oh, you just want.
Because I would have called his bluff. No, I would have called his bluff. I would have done exactly what Danny Ainge did: is call his bluff, and then make Washington or New Orleans come up with me. And then when you take VJ or Trey at 4, 5, 6, whatever, now that makes sense. Now you can re-sign Yabusele. Everything works back, right? But I would have called his bluff, drafted him, not to keep him, right? Because Tommy, everything you just said, all those red flags appeared late. You know what I mean? And that keeps you from not taking him, but to call his bluff because of all that, like, who are you to tell me that I'm not going to take the best player if that's what they thought, and call his bluff? That's what I would have done.
This city would have burned.
It would have absolutely burned.
I'd rather put my faith in Walter Clayton Jr. as the best Jazz draft pick of the year, personally.
That's my boy.
I'm 100% serious. I'd rather bet on him to win Rookie of the Year than Ace Bailey.
Apparently, the guy Joseph that's checking in is a Gators fan, and he's going to get that league pass to watch his Jazz, watch his boy Walter.
Well, what happened if you draft
a boy,
and then people call your bluff and nobody comes and gets it?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I wouldn't want.
I would have never
want to have that other thing. I wouldn't take him because, again, dude's scumbag. Who the hell do you think you are, dude? Fuck off.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, Greg. It's not a bad point.
No, I hear you.
I just think that we don't give Darryl and this organization any credit to think that wasn't something on their mind, right? Of course, you would hope, but then again, like, what happens if nobody comes up there? Then you keep them. Okay,
then you keep them.
But I think that's the most moronic take of all time. So you're going to take a guy just to call his bluff, and that's how we're drafting players.
But if you think he's the talented, most talented player,
well, they obviously didn't.
Well, obviously, or they got scared. They let his agent dictate the move.
Okay,
the Jazz struck gold in their mind because they got screwed over with the 5th pick, and they haven't hit on a draft pick in forever. So in their mind, they struck gold. But in our case, I think it would have been moronic. I agree. You got to take Edgecombe there. Or if not Edgecombe, you take the player you want.
Yeah. You just go get the guy you like the most, and a guy who actually came here and didn't big time you as an organization and met with your best player, per se, or youngest best player, and they obviously created a relationship. So this is deeper, man. Like, you need to get to know a guy. Right? You're drafting a guy not only for his skill set, but what you believe he can turn into as a 19-year-old kid. So if you're getting a guy who thinks he's fucking MJ at 19, who's done nothing at the college level to dictate that, besides he was the number 1 ranked recruit, good for you. Again, that's high school, right? So what have you done for me lately? Listen, he has a ceiling for sure, a big ceiling, but those kind of red flags are the reason you don't draft the guy. It happens all the time. Sometimes you get screwed by it, Greg. Sometimes
Sure.
you
Sometimes you get screwed by taking the guy you want, and that doesn't have an offensive game.
Yeah, okay. But how much is Ace offensive game? Now you're acting like Ace Bailey can take anybody off the damn dribble because he's a play above the rim guy too. He's just bigger. So again, where's his offensive game?
Oh yeah, she can shoot the ball.
Okay, I'm not. Let's not act like VJ can't shoot the ball at all. Now, like again.
I'm just saying. VJ at 3 always was my issue. VJ at 4, 5, 6, no issue. It's just a pick at 3, right? It's the spot at 3, and that's always been my issue. I don't dislike VJ, and I don't dislike the pick of VJ. I dislike where they did it. Like you didn't call a bluff per se, and maybe it wasn't a bluff, right? But you didn't trade back. And again, part of that is on Ace that he took all that leverage away from the Sixers of having that ability to trade back to then get the guy they still wanted. That's my only issue is just VJ at 3 is the issue.
I don't.
VJ at 5, 4, no issue. Because then again, VJ at 4, 5, 6, you can keep Yabusele. And you could keep a guy that you probably really wanted to keep. You just couldn't afford it because of the money you got to pay to VJ.
Yeah, like, and if Yabu went to the freaking Hornets, I wouldn't care. He went to the Knicks. Like you just made them so much better.
I love both of you, but I'm not drafting a guy with concern or not, and my decision making off of Yabusele.
100% agree.
No, I'm not
agree
saying. Yeah, no, I hear you there. I'm just saying the trickle effect. The trickle effect.
If you're okay,
this allows you to do that.
Yeah, no, and I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying back to you, like if you're going to draft a guy, if you're okay with drafting a guy at 4 or 5, then you're sure as hell okay drafting him at 3, Greg.
No, because I'm not paying him that money for 3. He doesn't have the ceiling to be 3.
I disagree with that completely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like, doesn't have the ceiling.
I didn't know his story. I didn't know that he was living off a generator, had no money. Like he splashed his jacket on all his family, who he does it for. Like he is a dog. I didn't know that. Like at least he gives a shit.
And I think that
I don't
matters.
disagree with any of that. I don't disagree.
What you're saying, I get. Like I totally get because again, I was a guy like what Pump said. You drafting the guy a hustle guy. I hear you, Pump, that he's a hustle guy. He's an energy guy that's got probably the best athlete in the goddamn draft.
Sure.
So like, holy shit, we're like, if you believe a guy in a league that you need to be athletic, okay, he's 19 years old. Like I've looked at stat comparisons of other guys that have his type of athleticism, and he matches what they did their freshman year. That they didn't shoot the ball great as freshmen. There's lists of Hall of Famers that were super athletic as freshmen and had to develop more. Like I'm not crowning it. We won't know, but I think this is a great pick. I think listen, there's the guys I wanted more, sure, and I'm not always right either. But when you watch the pure athleticism, you got to believe that you're going to get more out of that, man. Like holy crap, Ace is the same thing. He's an athlete. So you got one athlete.
Especially with what you said. With building around Maxey. You
got one athlete that's a prima donna, it looks like, and the other one's a dog, like Bucket said. Holy shit, if I put a dog next to one of the harder workers in the NBA and Tyrese Maxey, what can I turn him into? Look, if we don't think Tyrese Maxey was a part of this pick, also, who met with him, then we're not giving this organization any type of goddamn credit to Pump. And everybody wants to badmouth them all the time. Listen, they've made bad moves, but okay, they have. But Daryl's also done some really good things throughout the bad things too that we just overshadow and don't talk about. He's the one who drafted Tyrese Maxey. He's the one who drafted Jared McCain outside the lottery. 2 guys outside the lottery that can play basketball, right? And have proven a little bit in their NBA runs, all right? And now he goes and drafts another guy with 3. How do we not trust that at all?
Well, to your point, they're building around Maxey and McCain. Yeah, like it's the 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're building around Maxey and McCain, like you said. So if I have 2 pure scorers in Maxey and McCain, which I believe that I do, you get the hustle guy who plays above the rim, and he has the ceiling to be a scorer. But if he doesn't have the worst case scenario, I know he's going to give 110% defensively and on offense and be above the rim, be a hustle guy. I'll take a hustle guy next to Maxey and McCain if they're being pure scorers. If they ascend to what they're supposed to be and they're scoring 30 a night each, you need the hustle guys. You need the glue guys who can still get it if he needs to. But like if that's what he ends up being, fine. But he has the ceiling to be way better than that.
Yeah, but all three can't play at the same time, right? So to build around them, you would hope that you would find a guy that you could fit with those two on the floor at the same time, and you can't with VJ.
Well, a couple things. I do think there's times they can play all together, for sure, right? Depending on who your big man is and who your four would be, and what kind of length you have there. Okay, so I don't think it's like to say they can never play together in a league full of guards. I think we got to look at the way the league's going. So
they're not even 6'6". None of them 6'6".
I'm just saying, Greg, you can't say they can never play together in a league that is gone smaller.
Right, but the smaller guards that these other teams, they're at least 6'6", though.
Okay, and if you have a 7'1" guy behind them and something of length at the power forward position, I'm just hypothetically talking.
Yeah, but now you're turning me into Pump, and I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? Because
I'm not saying they're going to play together 48 minutes a night, right?
No, I know.
That's not what I'm saying, but don't say they can't, because they can run minutes together for sure.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they can't go 10 minutes a night together.
No, I don't think they can.
Okay.
I think you're going to have to do 2 to 3.
But you're a guy who openly says he doesn't watch basketball.
But I know the game.
Yeah, but,
you know the game like I know the game, which is a little bit more old school and set positions.
But you're saying, your thought is you put them three with Joel. They're going to run Joel out the door. Joel's not going to make it to past half court if those three are on the floor, and that's what you want them to do.
Joel won't be here for Edgecombe's prime. Edgecombe's 19. By the time Edgecombe's 26, Joel's going to be in a wheelchair. So Joel is irrelevant.
Joel might be in a wheelchair by Christmas.
Exactly. He won't be here for Edgecombe's prime. You got think about it.
Joel's going to be here until 2029. That's 4 more years. So how long is his prime going to take to get for Edgecombe?
I mean, we're still expecting more out of Maxey, and he's only 24. So what do you mean? We're harping on Maxey. He's got to be better. He wasn't great. He's only 24. So can Maxey get better? I believe he can. So it's the same thing for Edgecombe. You got to wait 5 years. I mean, you got to give the guy 5 to 7 years.
What does Oklahoma City do at a high level?
They play hard.
Okay. What's the other thing they do?
They draft well.
What do they do on the court at a high level?
They run.
They put the
no.
ball
Mike
in the hoop.
Mike answered it.
So did the Pacers. They both just ran.
So I'm just going to say I don't think that we are giving, and this is for Pump, Daryl Morey enough credit here for once. I don't think that we're giving him credit for the way the league is shifting and him shifting with it in a copycat league. Right? So you got 3 guards who can run it. In a league you need to get up and down in. We thought in the postseason things slowed down. What we watch this postseason is the complete opposite of that. We watch a more up-tempo game, right? A more fast-paced game than we're used to watching in the postseason. So, again, I'm not crowning the pick because we don't know. But there's a ton of meat on that bone. And if people don't see that, then you just don't want to buy into anything. And that's okay, too. Again, not calling it the A+ draft and the best draft of all time. But I think they got 2 players in this draft that one that can really develop into something special, all right? And 2, the other guy who can be probably a really good bench backup for teams, right? For this team, he can be. Like he had a really good senior year. Like he can play basketball. But does he wow you with athleticism? No. But he's got a little bit of a slow man's game, but he gets it done. Sometimes a slow man game is okay. We just were crying over no Yabu, who's a slow man game. And we just drafted a guy who can't, I'm not saying he shoots a 3 like that, right? But we just drafted a guy who plays a slow man game. But it's tough, it's physical, right, Greg? Even though you don't like him, but
I'll give him that. Yeah, I'll give him that.
So
he played a lot of high-level basketball. He's physical and he's tough. But there's injury concerns, and like you said, doesn't shoot the three. I think he shoots the three like 25%.
Okay, yeah, and
in
again,
college.
You hope that a guy can get better at that. Guys who want to will. We'll see, right? I'm not crowning a second round pick at all. Just saying you got a guy who can maybe contribute and grow here a little bit.
But here's my biggest issue with that pick, though, because like you said, veteran, 4-year guy, tough to completely hate on it. But there were so many other athletic guys on the board at that time. And like we said, this league is forever getting more athletic, and we took probably the most unathletic guy left on the board at that time. Right? And that's where that's buckets down. That's where it's and I hated him at Auburn. But yes, he is physical. He can play. He has played high level basketball over the last few years. So
if your second round pick turns into anything, it's a win. I mean, I don't give a shit about second round picks. I really don't. If it turns into something,
but then why do we have 2 rounds? You know what I mean? Like we sit there in other sports and we like, oh, we got this 3rd rounder, this 4th rounder. You know what I mean? Like in the NFL, and we hype these up, but it's like, so then why do we have a second round pick? And I get it, right? They traditionally don't work out, but why do we have it then?
Well, because you find the diamonds in the rough. You find the Brunsons, the Jokic.
It's just like in the NFL, many 7th rounders don't work out, but they have.
I watch enough college. We're good.
They have 7 rounds because occasionally a Tom Brady or a Brock Purdy or whomever will show up.
Yeah, that's not John Ibru.
Yeah, I was
in the second round. In the second round,
I'm not satisfied with Bona because I think Adem Bona is a stiff. I never understood the hype around him. Like everyone's like, "Oh, we got Bona."
Well, there you go. There's a second round pick, right? To your point. So
I'm with you. It just made me satisfied that they're like, okay, they're not bought in with Bona.
Yeah, I think this guy can play a little bit. I mean, when you're averaging 19 and 11 and over 2 blocks a game, and you're shooting 51% from the field. Like again, I don't think he's obviously not the most athletic guy, but he's got really good feet. He defends he defends at a really high level. Okay, he did in college, where that translates as a guy who can be a role player for a long time. And if you get a second round pick that can give you minutes as a role player and give you offense in the post, right? There might be more athletic guys, but you drafted the most athletic guy in the draft, so it's okay. It's okay to go the other way then, right? It is okay. In a team that needs some size, needs some physicality, right? And is trying to change their culture a little bit, right? Even though he's a slow man game, he's an energy guy. And if you get anything out of a second round pick, it's a home run anyway. So like I like him more than Greg does. And that's not saying that's right. Again, it makes sense. Everybody can like who they want. But I think that's a really good second round pick. Because if you can go get a guy who started and played meaningful minutes and was a leader of an SEC team that was loaded this year in the SEC, so those numbers matter to me, baby.
Yeah, that was probably the best conference in college basketball.
Like I didn't realize he averaged over 2 blocks a game. So everybody can miss me. You're getting 11 boards and over 2 blocks a game in the SEC. I don't want to hear you ain't athletic because that's the most athletic conference in college basketball, and it ain't close. It just wasn't close this year. So I got to give the guy a little bit of credit that you don't gotta have the highest 2-foot vertical leap, but if you play good defense and you understand the game and you position yourself well and stuff like that, you can be a damn good player. Look at his post moves. Look at his footwork. I almost don't know what's not to like. If you drafted him 3, I hear you. You know what I mean? If that was your 3rd pick in the draft, go throw your head through a mirror. But in the second round, like we ain't hoping. We would love the Taco Bell commercial, but maybe we got a Mickey D's one because the guy drafted in the second round had no athleticism either. He's got great footwork. Not comparing him to Joker. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you know what I mean? Like he ain't the super athlete. He can't jump over an index card. But
I don't know.
But what does he do well? Hold on, what does he do well? He knows how to play a game of basketball.
Yeah,
I don't know how many assists he averaged, but when they were putting together the highlight tapes on Twitter, that's where I get all my news. I'm scrolling through Twitter. And they literally the passes he was making were ridiculous. Like that's the one thing that caught my eye. He was making crazy passes out of the post. I don't know how many assists he averaged at Auburn, but
no, he's a good passer.
He was a good passer.
He's actually got a good handle for a bigger guy. He really does. And like just watching him now, against some of the teams he's playing against, I think he looks more athletic than the combine's giving him credit for. And I get it. We're all about shorts and a tee. We drafted the guy over the closed environment, right? Go draft the guy that actually, shows his game on tape in a great conference. I can't believe I'm talking about a second round pick this much. It's amazing. Anything for Greg to be wrong is amazing stuff.
I need Luke here. I need him to look up how many assists he had. Pumper, look it up.
No, Pump told us.
We just talk about how it's literally
Greg. I drove Greg to the grave. This is unbelievable.
Can we just talk about how we just went with the Howie strategy of just drafting the best player in the SEC? Like that's what we did for this draft pick, which is fine. It's like yeah, cool. Second round draft pick. I don't know why we're talking about this. He might play 5 minutes tonight.
He might play more than that though.
Maybe
he might not play at all. But regardless,
he might start at the 4.
He could be in there for the entire year. Who knows?
You guys think I'm kidding? You guys think I'm joking?
Trust me, I know you're not kidding.
You're getting a 22-year-old who's ready to play. That's the advantage of drafting a 4-year guy. It's like he can't come in and probably play right away.
Oh Jesus!
I'm just saying if you guys are upset with that as your 4, like at times I'm not, you know what I mean. But if you're upset with that as your 4, like he just got it done. He just showed in the best conference he can play at that level. I don't know. Go watch some more tape on him because
I know we do need a 4. That's a position of need. I was saying it, but let's see how he looks in summer league before we pencil him into the starting 5.
I'm trying to calm down here too, but I just don't want to hear. I love the non-athletic.
He's got Johnny ready for Springfield. Fit the jacket on him.
Oh, see, someone just said this, dude. That is why the Grimes thing confuses me too, because you're gonna have Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe. So 2 of them are coming off the bench. Greg was saying all 3 can't play at the same time. Like to start, Edgecombe's obviously young; he'll be off the bench. But like, if 3 of them can't play at the same time, can Grimes, McCain, and Maxey play at the same time?
Yeah,
and they're going to.
Grimes is bigger.
No, I know, but they're going to.
Well, so Grimes and Edgecombe play bigger, right? So you could play Maxey, Grimes, and Edgecombe together because, I think even though they're not all 6'6", you can, right? Listen, you need 4 guards anyway, So I mean, it's not like the minutes aren't going to be there. And VJ, obviously, you want to bring VJ along a little bit slower, right? And this allows you to do that. This allows you to let him develop while still having 3 really good guards while he's developing.
Someone said it.
I love the idea of doing a line shift. You have guys that just run up and down the floor the entire night.
That's the Pacers.
Giving guys hell. Yeah, perfect. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, that's literally the Pacers. But someone said it in the chat, and I think they're spot on, except it's a weird year for that example, is that the shooting forwards, why do I always say that? Small forwards. I always say shooting forwards. Small forwards, your 3s are what win in this league. I do believe that. You need a 3. Like, I feel like Tatum, Giannis, LeBron, like, I just feel like the 3 is the main. We've never had, like, a stud at the 3. It's been Harris.
I'm just stuck on he's not athletic enough as I'm watching him dunk all over the SEC. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching him right now just, like, own Houston, too. So, it's like, I don't know. He's got such good post moves. He's blocking shots, and, he can't play. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe he can't. But
we won't know. We won't know until October, November.
We might not know till January when Embiid's out.
He's not Iggy, dude. He's better. I don't want to do that.
I hope he is. If he's that's fine.
Really good.
Yeah, that's fine. Like that.
Really
Be a
If
little
he's
good.
better. I need
that
a little
means-
bit better. I need
Yeah,
like a tier a little bit up from that. I don't disagree with you guys. I just need like a tier a little bit up from that one.
yeah. But I'm just saying, as in the aspect of defense, like if he's defending like Iggy,
Oh, he's break his knee. Holy shit.
what are you watching?
Oh, MLB Network.
Oh,
I'm watching White Sox Dodgers, and I think who plays third for them? Is that Muncy?
The
Yeah.
Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that knee is done.
Yikes.
oh, I thought you were watching Broom highlights. I'm like, oh, great, another.
No,
fun move.
I am doing that too. I'm like
No,
I'm like a
double-decker.
combo guard. Yeah, I'm a combo guard over here.
I was like, he broke his knee. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I just watched him block like 7 shots versus Houston, the number 4 team in the nation at the time. Like I want to keep going back to the athleticism when the guy's great at pick and rolls. He's a great passer. Like sometimes you find guys like that.
You
know what I
can
mean?
find diamonds in the rough, and I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's not like you really found them in the. You didn't exactly find them in the deep rough. He played in the best conference in college basketball last season, and
Tom, if VJ Edgecombe gave you 18, 5, and 5 for 6 straight years, would you be upset with him?
As a 3 pick, a little bit.
Really?
But see, there's only so much love to go around, though. Like, how many points is he supposed to score? He's the 4th option.
Yeah. He gives me 18, 5, and 5. I'm happy with that.
Not for 6 straight years, babe. Because then we got no growth. Like I hear
So
you.
say those are the averages. So one year he has 20, one year he has 16.
Wait, what's Paul George averaging? Because it's probably the same.
Yeah,
He ain't averaging more than that.
His career?
No, maybe not career, but what's he averaging the last? He's probably right around it.
See, I don't think you guys want to start it. You know what I
PG
mean?
last year, 16, 5, and 4. Year before that, 22, 5, and 3. 23, 6, and 5. 24, 6, and 5.
Oh, great. So he was 20s every year, and he gets here, and he's 16. That's fantastic.
He played 41 games last year.
I know. It's funny.
No, but what I'll say is I need like a little over 20 that really like that a little bit more. But I hear you. You know what I mean? I'm not, again, it's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Like the numbers are great, but what does it look like? Right.
Also, what is his role? Like,
yeah,
every team-
is
every
Maxey
team
dropping
has different roles.
31 for those
Yeah,
6 years?
realistically,
You know what I
here,
mean?
Maxey's putting up 30, 31, 35, right? There's only
that
so
guy's-
many shots going around.
Yeah. So he's giving you like a Klay Thompson, an 18,
Yeah.
a 20. Yeah, I just need 20. Like because if you're my second option in 4 years from now, I need like 21, and then I'm feeling delicious. So we're right there though. Your numbers aren't off. I just need so you're not growing. You're just averaging 18 every year. There's no growth in your game. Now Houston, I don't like that. Right? Because
Also, all right. So maybe he's averaging 18, but now he's averaging 9 assists a game, right? So he's dishing the ball out a little bit more, right?
Well, tickle my nuggets then. You know what I mean? Then I'm in. You know, tickle my chicken nuggies.
I could again. I don't
Happy
necessarily
Meal
think
made.
that there's a whole lot that goes into being a good basketball.
Put the toy in the box.
Yeah, do it.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean, Christ, it's late. I mean, Broom's freaking
That's all
Joker.
right. It's after 11. The kids went to bed.
We just drafted Joker in
No,
the second
it's
round.
the summer. They're still awake. Nobody's watching.
We just drafted Joker in the second round and Iguodala in the first round.
Yeah. Get the jackets ready, boys.
Can't wait.
No, yeah, like I don't know. It all depends. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't-
countertop he's sitting on when he's refused to play in Utah.
Yeah, bump. He's paying your mortgage, ain't he, babe? You know what I mean? Are you on the
Absolutely.
payroll? I can't wait for him to stink.
I would have loved for him to go to Kentucky or something and end up being on the bench because everybody just fucking hated him.
Yeah, I'm glad you're a number 1 ranked high school guy. Cute story. There's
Yeah,
plenty.
man.
There's plenty of
Like a
those
fucking
guys who were
Rutgers.
not good pros.
Guess who else was?
Rutgers.
Justin Edwards.
Was he actually?
Yeah.
He was the number
He
1
was.
ranked high school guy.
That's great.
Although,
Yeah,
let me tell you something. He looked like he was eating a little bit of those Philly cheesesteaks. They posted a picture of him and Edgecombe in the gym. He blew up a little bit. He didn't look healthy. His face it looked like Mrs. Puff.
Who?
I was a little concerned. Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards was working out with Edgecombe, which you love to see it, but it looked like he needed it. He had a little extended vacation, a little extended offseason. He blew up. You got to look at a picture of him last year and the picture I just saw that the Sixers posted of him and Edgecombe. It was scary. His face was puffy.
I like they're working together.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw becomes the 20th player to strike out 3,000 hitters.
Yeah. Yo, Pump, were you watching B-Ball Paul tear up Summer League last year or 2 years ago? You going to take your victory lap there, too? Can't wait, brother. Yeah, Summer League deal. Big deal.
Oh, my God. What are we going to upset? Pump, if you're upset over Summer League, again, I love, Cheese, grate your dick if you're that involved in it, first off. And two, like I watched Ben Simmons carve the Summer League up. All right. I thought I had LeBron. Okay. And I got Caitlyn. Jenner, that is. You know what I mean?
Got Kendall.
I didn't even get Kendall. I got Caitlyn.
Oh man.
I got Bruce, but when he switched over, you know what I mean? I didn't get the Olympic gold medalist, right? I got his girlfriend. Makes sense? That's who I got. So you can miss me on Summer League, baby. And listen, do whatever you want with your life. Bruce Jenner, a great athlete. Okay, tremendous athlete. But go watch Summer League, and if you're that invested into it, again,
Yes. Hell yeah.
like clue.
I watched Furkan Korkmaz.
Furkan Korkmaz. Yes, dude. Yes.
Dude, that's how amazing is that?
You know who went nuts in Summer League? Who was the guy who went to Michigan?
No, I didn't like Zaire. Don, sorry.
Guy went to Michigan. We played for the Kings, Sacramento Kings first, and he came here. God, what was his name? White guy.
Nick Stauskas?
Yes, Nick Stauskas tore up
Sauce Castillo?
Yes, I miss Nick Stauskas.
Dude, I was talking about this with Luke, like the amount, and I kind of said it earlier, but the amount of people that Embiid played with, like the amount of starters too, and still took us to great seeds and like playoffs, it was unbelievable. Like Furkan Korkmaz can't buy minutes anywhere else. PJ Tucker can't buy minutes anywhere else. Like it's actually crazy. Josh Richardson. Seth Curry. Seth Curry plays for a team his dad works for. He can't even buy minutes. He's on the Hornets. He can't buy minutes on the Hornets. Like the amount of guys that we had here that played Matisse Thybulle. Like Thybulle can't sniff minutes in Portland. Like the amount of people we've had here that have started for us, that Embiid has played with and carried to good records and playoff runs is actually sickening. Like they can't sniff minutes anywhere else. Korkmaz is amongst those names. Dario Saric, where the hell has he been? He got hurt. He just got traded, but he can't sniff minutes. It's crazy.
Dude, I can go get my T-shirt from a podcast not to be named right now that has just all of the names that went through the process shit and people that Embiid play with. It's fucking disgusting, the names that are on that shirt. I wear it all the time. It's my favorite shirt.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of people in and out for sure, but I'm talking people that played like big minutes. Like Korkmaz started for us in Game 7 against the Hawks. Now we lost. We could have went to the conference finals. And we should have started Thybulle, who they both stink and they both can't sniff minutes. But Doc Rivers is a jackass. You start your best defender there. I don't know how we just got to the Hawks series. But those two guys were starting, flip-flopping for each other, Korkmaz and Thybulle, to go to the Eastern Conference Finals with Ben Simmons on that team, not shooting free throws, with Dwight Howard playing. And Embiid still gave you a game away from a conference finals with that team. It's crazy. Like, they can't buy minutes anywhere else.
Yep.
Like Thybulle and Korkmaz, I don't think they played since.
You ain't wrong.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But it is just nuts. I don't know. Like Seth Curry, that's the amazing one for me. He like lit it up here, fan favorite. Everyone loved him. And then he goes to the Hornets where his dad works. The Hornets stink out loud. They have 100 injuries, 10 guys in jail, and he still can't sniff minutes. Like, it's actually crazy. Like PJ Tucker has been begging for money. Like he's been begging for minutes. It's and he started for us. Like we're playing in Boston, going to the conference finals, and he's starting. And everyone wants to talk about Harden 9 points, and Embiid didn't show up. It all might be true, but you had PJ Tucker in your starting lineup, and he can't even come off the bench for any team in the NBA. I'm ranting, but it's crazy. Joel's played with some bums.
No, obviously you're pointing out that some of the stuff, but we keep getting role players like 2 years past the year that we needed them. Right? It's just consistently what happens with these guys. You know what? PJ Tucker would have been awesome 4 years ago. Danny Green would have been awesome 3 years prior to that.
Danny Green, that's a great
Danny
one.
Green. Like these guys who, again, were really good role players on good teams that made runs in the playoffs or maybe even won championships, right? Like Danny Green did. But holy shit, dude. Like what? I'm so sick of getting 36-year-old role players. Why the fuck is Kyle Lowry possibly going to be on this roster?
Kyle Lowry, dude.
Why?
He has something on Nick Nurse. He has something over Nick Nurse. Like they're buddies. They want a championship. Cool. He's blackmailing him because there's no reason. Like he's not getting minutes anywhere else. He's sitting there with a coach taped to his fucking shirt in the middle of games. We're winning 20 games a year. He's got coach taped to his shirt. It's a joke. He's up there fucking telling Nick Nurse what the challenge in his face every time out. Like, sit down, dude. You're lucky you're even getting paid. I don't even know how he's. It's actually sickening. We have 110 guards, but let's keep him.
Yeah, let's keep Kyle Lowry and give VJ number 77 instead of the 7 that you somehow still fucking have.
It's crazy. I don't know. He's annoying. Like he would again, like you said, he would have been cool 10 years ago. What'd you say?
When is Lowry retiring? He must.
Hopefully tomorrow.
When is Eric Gordon retiring? Like my God,
well, we just re-signed him too. Again, another guy would have been great 5 years ago. What the fuck are we doing?
Lowry would have been great. This team 10 years ago, Drummond, Lowry, Gordon.
You take
my
this team
God
7 years ago, we're like by far the favorites in the Eastern Conference.
Dude, we might not lose a game. You got Paul George, and think about this team 8 years ago. Kyle Lowry, Paul George. Who else? Who am I missing? Eric Gordon. We had Harden. Harden's another one. You had Harden, who was still good, but we got him 4 years after his freaking.
Ben Simmons 8 years ago was decent. Wasn't a dickhead yet.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Good times.
Yeah, man, it's.
I will eat my own jock if Ace Bailey drops 40 this on Saturday. Yeah. There's no fucking way, dude.
I've never heard that term in my life.
There's no shot.
There's no fucking way.
If he drops 30, I'll lick your balls, pump.
What the fuck?
If he drops 30, we're going from 40 to 30.
30 is somewhat.
30 is doable.
30 is somewhat possible.
Because here's what happens: you hit them first couple threes. You look up at the jumbotron. You got 22 going into the fourth. You're chasing it. Or you got 22 with 6 minutes left in the fourth. You're chasing.
Well, I guess I'm chasing it too. Then you know what I mean. So a lot of chasing going on.
Oh man.
What
is Greg's housekeeper keep coming in? The maid? Is she?
Oh, he's at a hotel.
I know. Is the maid coming in? Like
he said the internet keeps dropping in and out. I said, "What hotel you staying at, babe?"
Yeah, I saw an animal towel.
He's at the motel down the street.
Yeah.
He's using the Xfinity hotspot. It's not actually Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm staying at the Fairfield that he always stays at. So,
I got great breakfast. You just walk in tomorrow. You wake up 8 a.m. You just walk in. Nobody knows what room you're in. You just take the free complimentary breakfast. Give a wave.
Yeah, he could have stayed. He could have stayed here. You know what I mean? He ain't getting the breakfast, so that's why. You know.
He wanted the breakfast.
Yeah, buckets.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you a funny story about complimentary breakfast. All right. When I lived up in the Poconos, now my landlord, he owned the Budget Inn and Suites, right, in Stroudsburg. Well, we used to do, after we got off of work in the morning, I worked overnight at the time, we would go over to the hotel and eat the fucking complimentary breakfast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody knows.
The waitress there, she had a little liquor stash, you know. So she's bringing out vodka, and we're doing freaking shots of vodka at 7 o'clock in the morning to go along with eggs, toast, and the rest. It was good times back in the day.
Yeah, nobody knows. You can still do it to this day. You just walk in.
Probably. They would just assume. They just assume I'm staying there.
Yeah, Or assume we're on the way out.
Yeah.
What room are you in? I was in 320, but we're heading out.
314. fucking take 4 English muffins, make myself like 6 omelets, throw it in a plastic container and walk.
Oh, you're the reason the fire alarm goes off at 6 in the morning because you burnt your waffle in the waffle maker and fucking the whole travel baseball tour. Everyone's down there in their pants and belts just waiting for the alarm to go off.
Meanwhile, I'm pouring myself another shot.
Oh man.
Those were the days.
Oh, God.
They were the days.
Well,
Before I fall asleep, we got anything else that we can add?
I don't know. Go Phils.
Yeah. Kershaw just got a 3,000 strikeout.
Hey, seriously, how about our Phils starting rotation? I mean, if
Philadelphia Phillies rotation is disgusting.
it wasn't for our rotation, where the fuck would we be right now?
Well, that's why you invest in it. And the starting rotations, the bets in the NL earn run average at 3.3, and they have 22 starts with their starting pitchers going at least 7 innings, most in the majors.
I mean, I think it would be a complete crock of shit if Ranger and Sanchez isn't joining Zach at the All-Star game.
Oh, I mean, they've absolutely earned it, and deserved it. Deserve it.
Absolutely deserve it.
That being said, Mick Abel's trade value is going down by the start. So I would move on. I mean, it's early, but if you have to trade somebody, I'd move on while he's still tradable before
he's not a long-term answer.
Yeah, it just sucks because after that first start, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
it was Pittsburgh.
He had a couple half-decent starts. He had a real good debut, but he's coming back to earth. I mean, he had an ERA in the minor leagues of around 6 for a reason, and you gotta ship him out and see if you can get a bat or an arm in return.
Back to back against the Mets. That was fun on Fox.
That's fine. They won the series.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that I felt bad for him. Like that's your trade piece you're trying to trade. Hey, we got this guy, 6 ERA in the minors, about 17 in the majors. You want him?
No else had a rough start to their career and then got sent back down in the minors and then came up and was an absolute stud.
Roy Halladay back in the day.
Ding. Good
one. He doesn't count though.
What do you mean he doesn't count? What do you mean he doesn't count?
He threw a no-hitter in the playoffs. He pitched a perfect game.
He won multiple Cy Youngs.
He was one of the best pitchers in baseball here in Philadelphia for like a year and a half.
He was the best pitcher in baseball. He was fantastic.
I know, but I mean,
no, I'm saying he doesn't count because of the Perkies.
Specifically for a season.
This was prior to the Perkies.
Oh, all right.
He was like 22.
All right. It was Jalen Perks out there. I mean,
Jalen Perks,
May Roy rest in peace, man.
R.I.P.
Yeah, now is Harper healthy enough?
That's actually something I want to say because you just reminded me. His body language, his first game back was awful to the point where it was like he looked pissed off. Like he looked like he knew like he is not right and he'll never be right, and he just looked miserable. Castellanos homered. And usually he's off the bench doing handshakes, this, that, and the fifth. He was sitting on the bench, mean mugged, zone out. Literally just zoned out. They panned to the dugout when Castellanos. Oh, buckets down. They panned to the.
Just like that, right?
Yeah. They literally they panned the camera to him or to the dugout. Castellanos is he's pointing to Liam, dapping everyone up, and Harper was just in a death stare with nobody. He was in a blank stare. Like he just his body language looked awful.
I don't know, man.
That's fine.
Apparently, they can't find anything wrong with his wrist. There's nothing structurally wrong. So it's either got to be like, all right, whatever it is, you have to go in and during the offseason and figure out whatever it is, because clearly they can't find it. Like he's gone to different doctors. He's sad. Like at this point, it's really just a pain tolerance type thing. So.
Yeah,
I want to be that guy that's like, suck it the fuck up, dude. Like either play or don't.
Well, even if you're only getting 85% of what Harper used to be, I mean, hell, I'd take that over what a lot of this lineup has shown at times this season. I mean, this has been an inconsistent lineup at best. And like I said, thank God for this starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this a little bit last week. Like, you watch this team, and again, they're very, very good. They're a top 2 team in the National League, right? You're, I think, a game or 2 behind the Dodgers, right? I think you have at least a 2-game lead, if not more, on the Mets right now. The Braves are in free fall. Like, it's a 2-horse race here, but you have holes. Your bullpen's in shambles, right? You need at least 2 bullpen arms, if not more than that. And they have to be high leverage guys. You can't just go get some random guy out from wherever, right? And then you need an outfield bat. You do. You need an outfield bat. I cannot have Johan Rojas playing meaningful baseball games outside of him coming in as a defensive replacement. I don't want 210 Max Kepler, who hit a home run today. Good for you, bud. You're not hitting your weight, right? Stop bitching. He was bitching last week in the paper about him not playing. Buddy, you played 75% of the games. Shut up.
Yeah. And he's lucky he's gotten that much PT with as poorly as he's played.
Because again, your other options are Weston Wilson and Buddy Kennedy. Like what? Again, fine, great quad A guys. You might be good at AAA. You're not doing it here. Like,
call the kids
to go out and get a outfield bat. You have to go out and get multiple bullpen arms. So,
I don't know why they don't just call the kids up. I don't get it. Like, what damage does it do to bring Painter up and let him just come out of the pen in 7th inning, 6th innings?
Because they're gonna put him in the starting rotation the second that the All-Star break is over.
I hope that's true. I hope that's true. But if they don't, then why wouldn't you just? It doesn't even have to be Painter. Bring the kids up. Bring Crawford up. Bring Miller up. Like, why aren't we like carouseling the kids?
I'm down for Crawford. Miller's not ready. Give me
Crawford
Miller next year. I'm down for Crawford though.
I'd rather watch Crawford than Kepler or Rojas. Like, it can't hurt.
Bullpen if Painter comes up.
What is that?
Who goes to the bullpen if Painter comes up?
Abel.
Well, it'll be Abel or
Or you send him back down and you trade him.
Here,
yeah.
Because again, you only have one more 5th starter spot or 5th starter rotation before the All-Star break.
Or do you possibly go to a 6-man just to keep these guys fresh?
You could, but I think Mick Abel gets traded at the deadline.
And Zach Wheeler ain't gonna mess with that.
Yeah, no, like Zach
Right.
every
True.
5th day. You don't want to mess up, him, Ranger. You don't want to mess up Chris Sanchez, right? These guys are on a schedule and they're cooking.
Yeah,
right?
Painter's a bad example, but the Crawford, I'd rather watch him than Rojas or Kepler. Like, let's see what you got. It can't be worse.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, like because Marsh has been pretty good.
Yeah,
but Kepler and Rojas have been awful. Right. You bring Crawford up, you put him in center field, you let him hit against lefties and righties. His splits are pretty good against both. He's hit over 300 everywhere he's been in the minors, right? Even if he struggles for a couple weeks, fine. Right? But you let him go. And then you trade Kepler, because honestly, I don't want him anywhere near this team. He's like at the
I don't know why he's bitching and moaning. Not only that, he's making $10 million to hit at the Mendoza line or below it, whatever.
He's hitting 210. I just checked it. He's hitting 210. He had 2 for 4 today. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll leave it at this because we'll sign out of here. But there is something to be said about, like, if you're not playing every day, it's not easy. It's not built for everybody. And I'm not giving guys excuses, but some guys need it. Some guys need the at-bats every day for the rhythm and timing of it. So what he's saying isn't wrong, but, you got to go out there then and force hands to play every day then. So there's the other side of it, Yeah,
like when he said this last week, I checked how many games they'd played and I checked how many games he had played. He played like 65 of 80 games. It's not like you're not playing, dude.
Right.
Like, you're maybe getting 1 day off a week.
Yeah,
You're playing every other day. So, like, come on.
No, you ain't wrong. Ain't wrong. Sometimes just excuses. Guys look
Yep.
for them. You know, they do.
Yeah.
Boys, before I forget, have a happy 4th.
Yeah, boys.
Absolutely.
Everybody have a happy 4th. Stay safe out there. You know the deal. Call an Uber.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kirkland's been great. So, I mean, listen, this pitching altogether has been really good. And they got to keep it up. I mean, you can win a World Series with great pitching. So we'll see where they go from here. We'll obviously talk next Wednesday about them again. Love you all. Thanks for joining us. On your way out, hit the like, subscribe, follow, and somebody make sure Greg's got internet. This is HUD Wednesday nights. For Ryan, Buckets, Noah, I'm Tom. We out. Humphils. Can't wait to see. Oh, can't wait to see. VJ drop 40 on Ace tomorrow. Night pump. Get that.
Wait, do we play Utah?
I don't know. I feel like
Saturday.
we do. Saturday. So get your, get your balls smelling good, just in case I got to come in. Pump. Talk to you later. We're out.